everyone, I'm Kelsey from Wearable Whisperer, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your Fitbit Versa on an iPhone. To start, we'll go ahead and open up a web browser. I'll tap on Safari. In the URL field, you'll want to type fitbit.com/setup. And it's actually already in the suggested items here, so I'll go ahead and tap on that. So here it tells us to set up our Fitbit device, we need to install the free Fitbit app. Go ahead and tap on Go to App Store. And then tap on Open. I've previously had the Fitbit app on my phone, so I have this little cloud with a downward arrow icon. Yours will probably say Get. It might also say Open or Update if you already have the app. So go ahead and click whatever is in this general area. Now your phone will start downloading the Fitbit app. Once the app has been installed on your phone, go ahead and tap Open. If you already have an account, you can click Login and enter your email and password. Otherwise, tap Join Fitbit. And today we're going to be setting up the Versa, so go ahead and find Versa in the list of devices and tap on it. You can also scroll down if you don't see it. And let's go ahead and tap Setup. Now we're going to enter some account details. We need to enter our first name, last name, email, password. We'll need to agree to Fitbit's terms of service. And then you can opt in or opt out of receiving promotional emails from Fitbit. So go ahead and enter your information. Once you've entered your information, go ahead and tap Next. Now let's tap Let's Go. So Fitbit's going to ask you for your birthday. You don't have to give your actual birthday if you're not comfortable, but I'd strongly recommend having something within a year of your birth date, because this is going to be used to calculate your total calories burned. So use these sliders, select your birthday or somewhere near it, and click Next. Now you need to enter your height. So use up and down the slider, find your height, and tap Next. And here we have male and female icons. Go ahead and select whichever gender you identify most with, and then tap Next. And now you're asked to enter your weight. Find your weight and click Create Account. Now we need to read Fitbit's terms and policies. Go ahead and read these, scroll down, and tap I agree. And a few notes before we get started. It can take 30 minutes or more to complete this setup. Your Versa should be charged to 50% and kept charging throughout the setup. So to check this, you can double tap on your screen, and this icon in the upper left hand corner should show what your battery percentage is at. Mine is about 90% right now, so it should be okay without charging, but I would still recommend going ahead and putting your Fitbit in its charger. The last thing is that you need reliable Wi-Fi that does not require browser authentication. This basically just means your Wi-Fi should only require a password, not a password and a username. Alright, let's get started by clicking Next. So again, go ahead and put your Versa in its charger if it's not already, and then tap Next. So now your phone is searching for your Versa, and it has found mine. And now 4 digits appear on my Versa's screen. Your 4 digits will most likely be different. Go ahead and type those into your phone. Alright, that was successfully entered, and now my phone is pairing to my Versa. And now I have a Bluetooth pairing request. My Versa would like to pair with my phone. Go ahead and tap Pair. Okay, now it's time to set up Wi-Fi. Go ahead and tap Next. And now your Versa is going to search for nearby Wi-Fi. Once the network you want to connect to is found in the list, go ahead and tap on it. And now you'll need to enter your Wi-Fi's password. Once you've entered your password, go ahead and tap Connect. Now your Versa is going to try to connect to your Wi-Fi. Alright, I've got a green check mark on my Versa, and my phone tells me that my Versa has successfully connected to my Wi-Fi. So now I can tap Next. And we're reminded again that the setup process can take over 30 minutes to complete, so you'll want to keep your Fitbit Versa charging and near your phone until the update is done. Go ahead and tap Start Update. Alright, so here we want to pay attention to this teal bar at the top of our phone. It's going to tell us the progress of the setup. Right now it's in the connection phase. And our Versa is connecting to Fitbit's servers, most likely. And it looks like it connected successfully, and now our Fitbit Versa is trying to download its software update. Right now we see that it's at 5%, and it should start increasing, but it may take anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes to download. You can see here now it says 10%. And now we've got a thin teal vertical line that appears on our Versa. This is also a progress bar indicator. You'll notice that it's pretty thin compared to the download percentage, so don't worry if your phone says it's 50% downloaded and your progress indicator bar is not actually 50% of the way across your Fitbit Versa screen. So while you wait, you can either use your phone as usual, just keeping it close to your Versa, or you can take a look through these. You see all the activity that you can track. Your Versa tracks your steps, your distance, calories burned, active minutes, resting heart rate and active heart rate, as well as your sleep. And it's also showing that you can have a lot of different clock faces to choose from. And here we have notifications. You can enable notifications for calls, calendar events, and texts, as well as all other smartphone notifications. And we'll go ahead and tap Enable Notifications here. So right now we have calls, texts, and calendar events enabled. You can tap on any of these to disable them, meaning you won't get those notifications on your watch. And later, you'll manage your individual smartphone apps from here. Once your apps start sending notifications, their names will appear in this list, and you'll see another enable disable button for each individual app. But you'll have to do that later. So let's go ahead and tap back and back again. And optimize your workouts. So you can use connected GPS, meaning your Versa can connect to your phone's GPS to give you stats like pace and distance during runs and bike rides. And that's how you also can get a map of your workout route. There are several different exercise modes such as biking, swimming, hiking, spinning, yoga. And your Versa is swim proof, so if you want to take it swimming and track your duration, laps, and distance, you can do that. Also, Versa can store and stream music. So if you want to stream from Pandora, if you have a Pandora Plus or a Pandora Premium subscription, or Deezer, or you can download music directly from your computer. And finally, if you have the Fitbit Versa Special Edition in the United States or regular Fitbit Versa most elsewhere, you do have payments possible from your wrist. And you can add credit cards and then just use your Fitbit Versa to pay for things that have any place that accepts contactless payments. Alright, so now you can see we're at 94%. The progress bar on our Versa is actually pretty full also, so that's good. Okay, so now we can see here it says that it is finished downloading and it is now installing. So our Versa has downloaded its firmware update to give us the latest software version. And I'm getting a red X here, which is usually not a good sign. But sometimes it doesn't totally matter, we'll see. This is the most complicated part of the setup process. Okay, so even though I did have a red X and something didn't go quite as planned, you can now see that the progress indicator on my Versa is going again. This is the second progress indicator. It's supposed to be showing the progress of the installation, and unlike the download on your phone, the installation does not give a percentage for its progress, so you kind of just have to go by what your Versa screen is saying. If you have any troubles during this process, I strongly recommend contacting Fitbit customer support, as they can kind of help you troubleshoot what might be causing issues in your specific situation. And here we have the full green on our display, which means that the installation has successfully completed. And now we get some quick tips on our Versa. Okay, our phone is telling us that our Versa is ready, so we can click continue. Alright, it's the moment your wrist has been waiting for. You can go ahead and try on your Versa now if you would like. Once you do that, go ahead and tap next. And now it's asking for Fitbit to access your location. So your new device requires location data for apps and exercise tracking. So this is basically if you want to have weather, it needs to know your location. And if you want to do your exercise tracking, having a GPS map of your route, you need to have that. So for most people, I would go ahead and say always allow. If you don't do that, don't expect weather and exercise to work properly. So go ahead and say always allow. Now it says Fitbit would like to make data available to nearby Bluetooth devices even when you're not using the app. Fitbit needs to connect to your tracker to track your exercise. So go ahead and say OK here. Alright, so if your band is too small, this is showing you how to change the bands on your Fitbit Versa. I do find it's a little bit hard to get the bands back in, but once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. So go ahead and tap next. Alright, so let's go ahead and follow the quick tips on our Versa. Go ahead and tap next here. I'm going to go ahead and tap start. I think these are a little out of order. So I'm going to go with what my Fitbit says here, which is notifications. I'll go ahead and tap next. Yeah, this is a little out of order. Okay, so notifications. Try holding the top right button to see your mobile notifications. So let's press and hold the top right button. Okay, nothing new here. You're all caught up. So there's two ways you can get out of this. You can swipe up, or you can press and hold the left button. Okay, it says you can also see your notifications by swiping down over the clock. Go ahead and click next. So since our app doesn't quite match, I'm going to take this out so it's not confusing you. I'm going to move this back. And let's continue on. Alright, so for shortcuts, hold this button from any screen for Fitbit Pay, music controls, and shortcuts. So press and hold the left button. And if you have a payment-enabled Fitbit, it says to start, add a card in the wallet section of the Fitbit mobile app. You can do that later. Got it. No cards have been added in your wallet, so for now you can go ahead and hit hide, otherwise this will always show up. And then in quick settings, adjust your screen and notification settings from here. So go ahead and tap got it. So these are the quick settings. We have screen wake, which is when you move your wrist to wake it up and see what's on the screen. You can have that on auto or manual. Manual means you have to either double tap the screen or tap the left button to see the screen. So at nighttime it's pretty useful to switch this off to manual, but during the daytime you'll probably want it on auto. If you have it on manual, you probably save a little bit of battery, but I only put it on manual when I'm sleeping. And then you can enable and disable notifications if you're in a meeting or at the movie theater or something like that. Okay, so to get back, we're gonna tap the left screen. It says, nice, use this power move to bring controls up at any time from anywhere. Okay, next. Your stats. Lastly, swipe up from the clock to see a list of your health information. Go try it. So this is the clock face that comes with the special edition. Yours might look different if you have the regular edition. But what I want you to do, and you don't have to, but might as well, is to go ahead and swipe up. So swipe up, and this shows you your stats. So here it's telling us a little welcome. Congrats on taking the next step towards your Fitbit, towards your goals. Use your Fitbit to track your progress everywhere you go. Dismiss. And here we have steps this hour, heart rate. So you can also swipe here. You see your distance, your floors climbed, your total calories burned. Now, this says it's already 1,000 calories burned for the day. This is a common misunderstanding about Fitbit's calories burned. So Fitbit doesn't just track the calories you actively burn through exercise. It tracks the calories that you burn just by being alive. And this can be useful if you're wanting to, track the food you eat and try to maintain or lose some weight. But that's the reason why, even though you haven't even worn your Fitbit yet, it still says that you burned 1,000 calories. So just know that. And this lightning bolt means active minutes. So if you're active for 10 minutes or more, it will add to your active minute count for the day. So you can swipe back. And you don't see this now, but you might see these little lines below the steps. There should be 7 of them, and once you start getting data, you'll actually be able to see your week's history as kind of a bar chart for your number of steps. So that's kind of nice. And then here, this is your reminders to move an hourly activity. So it says we've done 0 steps this hour, and we've got 0 out of 9 hours today where we've hit 250 steps for the hour. So those stats will update. And then we have our current heart rate and our resting heart rate, and a history of our resting heart rate. Here, if we tap settings, you can enable and disable tips and tricks and inspiration. So if you don't want to see those in your dashboard display, you can turn those off. If you do, you can keep them on. All right, now let's go back. And you can either scroll all the way back up and get out of that, or if you want to get out of it easier, don't want to do any scrolling, you can just tap the left-hand side. It's also good to know that this is where you can see the battery percentage number. So if you ever want to see how much battery you have left, you can just swipe up from your clock face. So here again, we can go continue with the onboarding on our phone, showing us again that we can swipe up for our stats. Swipe up from the bottom of the clock face to access the Today app for your health and activity data, helpful tips, and exercise summaries throughout the day. And then press the left button to exit. Tap Next. Swiping down from the top will reveal your notifications. You can swipe back up, or you can hold the top right. And to get out of it, you can also just tap the left. Alright, tap Next. Okay, so to get back to those shortcuts, again, we press and hold the left button. And then we can turn on and off our screen wake, turn on and off our notifications. This also shows there's another tab to the left, so if we swipe right, then we have music controls here, and they'll appear when we play music from our phone. So you can actually control the play, pause, skip tracks, and things like that. So you can say, got it. You can also change the source if you're using your watch or your phone, and output to a Bluetooth headphone. Okay, push left button to go back, left button to go back. Alright, and I'm going to press Next. Okay, and now we can swipe left from our clock face to see our apps. So these are the apps that come pre-installed on your Versa. And the cool thing is if you want to reorder your apps, you can. So if, let's say you want weather on your first screen, you press and hold, and then slide. It's kind of like iOS if you have iOS. And then do however you want. So you can rearrange your apps any way you want to. And a cool little thing I don't think they tell you, if you press the left button to go back, you can just press once on the upper right button, and it'll take you to whatever app is in the upper left on your first app screen. So in this example, it's the exercise app. Now if you tap on the lower right button, it'll take you to whatever is in the lower left of your apps on the first page. So that's going to be weather. So if I tap once, that takes me to the weather app. And right now I don't have weather set up, so it's not showing anything. But I'll just demonstrate this again, that if you want to, let's say, change alarms. So now, if I press on the bottom left, it should show alarms. Okay, and then here you can set up a new alarm as you would like to. Alright, press the left again to go back. Okay, let's go ahead and press Next. Alright, so now you can go ahead and read some of Fitbit's wear and care tips. And then once you're done with that, click Next. And you're all set. So we've officially set up our Fitbit Versa. We can go ahead and tap Done. And since I created a new account, this is asking me if I would like Fitbit to send me notifications. These may include alerts, sounds, and icon badges, and they can also be configured in iOS settings. So you can allow or not allow. I'm going to go ahead and say allow. Alright, so one of the first things you might want to do after you set up your Fitbit Versa is to choose your new clock face. So to do that, you'll click on this account icon in the upper right hand corner, and then you'll click on Versa. And now we'll click on Clock Faces. So here it's showing your current clock face. Again, yours might be different if you don't have the special edition. You can either tap Pick a New Clock or All Clocks. And this will start showing you the Fitbit watch face gallery. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with a Fitbit watch face, and I'm going to go view all. And we can scroll through. I kind of like the regular watch face, so maybe I'll go ahead and click back to that one. This one's also kind of cool too. And this one shows a lot of the stats, which is nice. I'm going to go back to this. So I'll tap on that. And then I can click select. And it's saying layers needs permissions. For the best experience, select all permissions below. Needs internet and run in background. This is just because it needs to actually connect to your app to show the updated, heart rate or steps or things like that. So go ahead and give these permissions and then tap install. So now this little thing is the progress bar indicator. It is downloading the new clock face. Almost done. I got a little vibration on my Fitbit Versa. And green for success, and now there's my new watch face. So we can go back. Another thing you might want to do is customize your reminders to move. You can change your main goal, but most people will probably want to change their exercise shortcuts. So it seems kind of confusing how to change which exercise shortcuts are loaded on your Versa. But the thing to note here says your Versa is fully loaded. To add more activities, remove one above. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can only have a maximum of 7 exercise shortcuts on your Fitbit Versa at any time. So let's say we want to add walk. In order to do that, you need to tap edit. And then you need to delete one of these. I do not like treadmill, so I'm going to delete that one. And then now exercise shortcut is available to select. So you can select one more activity. So I'm going to go ahead and tap exercise shortcut. And then I don't know how exactly they order these. It's not alphabetical, which would be nice. You can also scroll. Oh, I guess that pretty much has them all. But here's walk, so I'll go ahead and select that. Now let's say walking is my biggest form of exercise, so I want it to be first in the list. Right now it's last, so you need to press and hold this little 3 horizontal bar symbol, and then drag it up to the top, or whatever you want. And then when you're done, you can press done. So now, if I were to go to the exercises in my Versa, it's still showing run. Maybe it needs to sync. So now I go back to Versa, and it says syncing. Okay, now let's see. Tap on exercise. There we go. Now walk shows up as the first item in my exercise list. And another thing you can do on your Fitbit Versa itself, you see this little settings cog. You can tap that. And this will show your laps, which means once you get to 1 mile, it'll kind of show, hey, you did 1 mile at this pace. I don't really find that useful for walking. You can customize the stats that are shown. So there's a top stat, middle stat, and bottom stat. I usually like to see heart rate number 1. Elapsed time is fine. You can also select or unselect things here. So maybe I don't care about my pace, so I can take that off. Okay, done. Connected GPS, you can turn it on or off to save battery. I don't usually need to see that. And then here's an interesting thing. You can't have the always on screen for your Versa just in regular, but you can have it always on during an exercise. So if you don't want to have to flick your wrist to see your stats, you can have always on screen for exercise. This does, as they say though, reduces your Fitbit's battery life. So it's up to you whether you want this on or off. Okay, now when you tap to walk, let's go. And now heart rate is on the top, elapsed time is on the bottom. It also seems to be in the middle. We can tap to change the middle stat. And then to finish, you actually have to say pause and then finish. And then confirm you do want to end this exercise. And then you get a little workout summary. Your time, distance, average pace, average heart rate, maximum heart rate, total calories burned, which include your calories that you just would burn if you weren't exercising. So don't eat all these calories back if you're trying to lose weight. And also your steps during that exercise, as well as any elevation gain you had during that exercise. And then press done. Alright, another thing you might want to set up is weather. So we can find that in our apps. And I'm going to scroll down to weather and then hit this little settings cog. And if you're in the United States, you'll probably want to tap here and change this to Fahrenheit. Then press done. And list of cities, we can have current location, we can add a city, whatever you want there. So now, let's see if we go to weather. And it is showing my current location, 55 degrees Fahrenheit, 15% chance of rain. Alright, so that was a in-depth guide on how to set up and partially customize your Fitbit Versa. If you found this video helpful, it would be great to give it a thumbs up, as that really helps my channel and lets me know you want more videos like this. If you have any other questions about your Fitbit Versa, please write in the comments below and I'll try to get back to you and maybe even make a video showing you how to answer your question. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.